Hi, Miriam. How are you?
I'm happy, thanks, Siddharth. It's nice to see you again, and in South
Yeah.
Africa now.
Wow. Okay. Where again, just to confirm, Durban or Joburg?
I'm streaming from Bothas Hill, just outside Durban.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. That's
Back
cool.
home
That's
again.
cool. Pardon?
It is. It is nice and warm up here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, likewise, likewise. Yeah, as usual, it is great to again catch up with you, especially with what's been happening with the singing and all that. So my opening question to you is, your music has touched generations. How do you feel your style and message has evolved over the years?
Siddharth, I was thinking about this, and I think it has got more relaxed as I've got older. I think when you
Oh,
start out and you're performing, you always have those sort of jitters and you want to please everybody. But when you get to my age, you've been there, done that. You know that you're relaxed. You're happy with your competence. And I'm just relaxing into things now. I find that I don't get the nerves and the twisted stomach that I used to get, and I can just sit back and enjoy the music with my audience. So I can tell you that I'm enjoying it just as much, but a little more relaxed now.
that's lovely. Looking back, what first inspired you to step into the world of folk and storytelling through song?
I think I told you that my grandma used to sing when I was a little girl.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
she used to sing things like, "If I were a blackbird, I'd whistle and sing." And my mother said, "I never should play with the gypsies in the wood. If I did, she would say, you're a naughty little girl to disobey." She was
Wow.
she was Kentish and she was brought up in a pub. And of course, everybody used to go in and sing the folk songs, so she would sing them to us. Then, when I was at
Mhm.
school, and those of us of my age who are from the British Isles will remember a program, they did a program called Singing Together on the radio. So we used to file into the school hall, and instead of watching the TV, we'd watch the radio. And they had all the old folk songs on
Mhm.
the radio that we would have to learn. And I'm still singing some of those today. Excuse me. Mm,
Sure.
yeah. So that was then the next influence. And then I went to college, and one of my friends was involved with the local folk club at Bradford University. So we used to go along to the folk club. And then I remembered that I'd learnt all the songs and started singing songs. So that would have been when I was about 18 at college. And then when I left college, I joined a folk club in Halifax in Yorkshire, and after that, I moved over to Doncaster, and I couldn't get a job teaching because I was a music teacher at the time. So my first husband, Mr. Backhouse, and I, which is why I'm called Miriam Backhouse, um, decided that it would be nice for me to go on the road as Miriam Backhouse folk singer. And I learnt 14 songs and went on the road, and I've been on the road ever since.
All right. Okay, I've got this question for you in the comments you're ready from Jit and Rishika. Hi, Miriam. Thank you for entertaining us. Did you ever thought of creating an album?
Yes, I've made quite a few albums, but they're not
Oh,
mainstream. They're not big company records because I'm such a little fish in a little pond. The big fish in the big pond are people like, oh, can't think. Oh, come on, Dolly Parton.
okay.
But I'm just Miriam Erasmus, and I'm a folk singer in a very small pond. I have made several albums. I made a solo album called Gypsy Without a Road in 1977 with a beautiful lady called Saffron Summerfield and David Etheridge, who did all the arranging. Then I did an album called Over Africa, which was all my songs. And originally it was going to be produced by a big record company, but they pulled out. So I took the masters and I produced it by myself. And over the years, I've produced several albums of my own songs and also other songs. I did an album about 1960s protest songs, things like Where Have All the Flowers Gone, We Shall Overcome, things like that. So I have done albums, but under my own steam. So I'm not under a big label that can be worldwide fame. Yes. So yes, I have. Yeah.
All right. You performed in so many places. Is there a particular stage or moment in your career that stands out as truly unforgettable?
Do you know, I was racking my brains. You asked me this question, and quite honestly, I can't think of one that really stands out. Each one is different. I mean, I've worked with little ones, I've worked with babies from 18 months to senior citizens who are 100 years old. So every song you sing and every reaction is amazing. And honestly, Siddharth, I'm sorry, I couldn't pick one moment out from all those wonderful experiences. They've all been like little diamonds in a necklace. So the whole necklace, I think, is what I'm very happy about.
All right. How has South Africa's music landscape changed since you first started, and where do you see it heading now?
Um, when I first started, we didn't have any internet. I mean, I've been here since 1977. So it was a very live orientated scene. And if you weren't asked to go and sing somewhere, you know, like I used to go and sing at the local preschool, at the local shopping centres. We used to do a lot of work in shopping centres, the folk festivals. Port Elizabeth had one, the Grahamstown Music Festival. So the dynamic when I first started was if nobody saw you live, they didn't see you. Okay. Then obviously albums came out, and then DVDs. I made a couple of DVDs that people could then watch. And then, of course, the internet came, and everybody can now make a little podcast or video of their songs. So that's what's changed. I've made quite a few videos just in my garden or in my house of me singing a song or two and put them up for other people to see. But everybody can do that. You could do that if you wanted to. You could sit and sing a song and everybody would be able to see it. So that's how the dynamic has changed. Also, as I've got older, I've lost a bit of touch with what's going on. I see the youngsters coming up and they're having fun, but they're also battling with the live scene. So they have to do videos and that kind of thing. But at least all the cultures in South Africa are alive and well. You know, all the different cultures and people. We've all got our own music, and we're keeping that going, which I'm very proud of. It's lovely.
Many artists look up to you for your authenticity. What advice would you give to young musicians trying to find their true voice today?
I'm going to look what I've written. Yes. I have put here, be yourself.
Mhm.
It's so easy for artists, actually of any age, to try and be a carbon copy of somebody else. You know, when I was growing up, I had lots of people that I looked up to, but I never tried to be them. So I would, if they had a particular song that I liked, I would learn that song, but then I would put my own stamp on it. So I didn't become a carbon copy of anybody. I was always Miriam singing somebody else's song or learning from the way that they worked with an audience or learning something the way they played the guitar or so you learn from your peers or your elders or your mentors, you learn from them, but it's best to take what they have to offer and absorb it and then put your own style on top of it. Because there's so many people just doing carbon copies. I mean, you can go to any open mic anywhere in the world and somebody is singing Simply the Best or Mustang Sally. So it's best to put your own stamp on it. And then, as you say, you become a reflection of your authentic self and not a copy of somebody else. So that would be my advice. Oh, by all means,
Uh,
I mean, I sing
mhm.
covers, but in my way.
All right. Do you have a personal favorite song that carries a special meaning or story behind it?
Yes, I do. I wrote a song called Over Africa. I was flying back from a gig in Petersburg in the old days to Johannesburg. and the sun was sinking. I don't know if you've ever been on an aircraft at sunrise or sunset. Now, when we're on the ground, just one part of the air goes orange, but when you're in an aircraft, the whole horizon goes orange, and this absolutely fascinated me. So I wrote this song called Over Africa, and it became the title song of the album that I was telling you about. And also it's my most requested song. Wherever I go, people say, please sing Over Africa. And so I think that's my favorite. Yes, thank you.
All right. Music often reflects emotion and experience. How has your life journey shaped the songs you write and perform today?
Um, I think I can tell you when I first started performing in 1973 on my own as a solo artist. Now, in those days, there wasn't as much choice of song to sing. I was singing folk songs, so I began singing the traditional folk songs of the British Isles, Scotland, Ireland, England, Wales. And I learnt a lot of those songs, which have stories to them. Now, in the 60s, if you remember, there was a big sort of folk revival, and a lot of people started writing their own songs. I'm talking about Bob Dylan, Tom Paxton, Joni Mitchell, and all those people. So over the decades since the 1960s, people have written songs, thousands and thousands of songs, that maybe I find that I can relate to. Joni Mitchell's Both Sides Now, for example, Pete Seeger's Where Have All the Flowers Gone? So my repertoire then took on a more modern feel as I found other songs that I related to over the years. And then when I started writing my own songs, I could find out what was going on in the world around me and comment on that. So I think that's what has changed over the years, that I started out with the tradition because that's all there was. But since people have been writing songs, I have adopted them into my repertoire over the years. Yeah.
Okay, what has been the most challenging yet rewarding moments of your musical career?
Do you know, Siddharth, when I had to sing with an
Mhm,
orchestra? Now, I usually sing on my own, as you know, or maybe with one or two other people. But
mhm.
sometime, maybe in the late 90s, we did a thing called Hooked on Christmas, and Michael Hankinson had the Natal Philharmonic on stage, and he invited four of us to sing Christmas carols with it. And that was amazing because instead of just being on my own, I had to learn to work with an orchestra and with four other people. And that was a real challenge, which I really enjoyed. So, yes, and that was the only time I ever got to sing in that kind of situation. I sang with orchestras since, but I think because that was the first one and I had to learn the score and what the orchestra was doing as well as everybody else, that was the most challenging. Yeah.
All right. When you're not performing or writing, how do you find peace or inspiration in your everyday life?
Well, Siddharth, as you know, I'm an initiate of Master. I'm a satsangi. So I find great comfort in having that perspective on life and in meditation and calm thinking. I also do yoga. I do a little bit of hatha yoga every day. And I find peace in that. And I find peace in my garden amongst nature. So I have a kind of gentleness in my life, that side of my life, when I'm not on stage and having to be out there. I can pull myself in and go in an inner place that is full of love and peace. And I'm very grateful for that. Yeah.
All right. Finally, what can your fans look forward to next and any upcoming projects, collaborations, or performances?
Thank you. I'm going to sing on the 1st of November. Um, Somewhere, oh gosh, I've forgotten where it is now. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing much at the moment, Siddharth. I've got bookings in England and Europe over the next 3 years. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some online stuff. Do you remember I was talking about sitting and singing and making videos? So I'm going to do more online things. And I'm also writing articles for 2 online magazines. So I can give people the contacts to find out what I'm actually writing about, my life, my memories, my poetry. and things like that. So although I'm not actually performing to people, which is my favorite thing to do, I will be doing things that bring happiness to me, and I hope to others as well.
All right. Well, I gotta say thanks once again for your time, and we'll catch up soon.
Oh, Siddharth, this has been lovely. And are you well?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. Great to see that. Keep well, darling.
Thanks.
Bye now.